Alright guys, here's Torsten. How are you doing? So today I want to start a kind of a new series. I'm not gonna promise too much. I just want to have a video featuring a couple of news. You saw a news show we started with a friend of mine. Unfortunately, he doesn't have so much time anymore. But I want to have these weekly news shows where I talk about stuff that either happened in the week or that is just interesting for me. It might be some actually old news, but it's relevant for me and I think maybe for some of the viewers. So this is a new show. This is the first of kind of episode. I'm gonna be doing it weekly or twice a week. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so the first news I want to talk about is my opinion actually on the Nintendo NX. And guys, I'm super hyped about the NX. I think the NX is actually the first console that really can make a stand against the incoming flood of mobile games, because I think these mobile games are kind of cancerous for the market. I admit there are some good games, but in general I think they lead to the decline of the AAA titles, which I find very sad. So I really think this idea of having a portable console which you can plug into a cradle at home and play it like a normal console, it's excellent. And especially in countries like here in Japan, where people use a lot of time to commute to work, it's just an excellent thing. You can always have your console with you, and people might actually be switching from mobile phones to the NX because it has real controls and it has really high quality titles, instead of those kind of money whore games that have such a little depth to it that they are really boring. So I'm super pumped about the NX. And the next topic is actually smartphone related. Not a topic you will find so much on this channel, but since I think Samsung was just able to hit it out of the park with the current Galaxy line, I want to give my thoughts on that. Just the release of the S7 Note, I think that's basically the most complete smartphone ever released. You have the high-end specs in each category, from the superb screen, probably the best in the market, the best smartphone camera in the market, the SD card slot, the high-end processor, you have enough RAM. I think that's the complete package. If you're someone who is not interested in the extra features of the S Pen, understandably, some people don't want to use that, you can go with the S7 or the S7 Edge. So, like I said, just a rounded lineup they have currently, and really Apple has to step up their game big time if they want to keep dominating or being at the top of the smartphone market, because I think Apple at the moment is pretty much surviving partly on their hype, on their cult status, and people being locked into their ecosystem. I actually think people who really would have an open mind and would try to use an Android phone would not go back to Apple. I have been using both iOS and Android over the last 5 years. Like 6 months buying the new Apple iPhone and then going back to Android. But at the moment I can never see myself anymore buying an iPhone. And I have owned basically every iPhone that came out. So yeah, anyway, and then the next topic, the trailer, Rogue One. I thought it was pretty good. On the other hand, I cannot get hyped about Star Wars at the moment anymore. The Force Awakens was a big bummer for me, honestly speaking. I liked the movie in some ways, but on the other hand, the rip-off they did, just making a complete copy of A New Hope. Jesus, oh man, it's mind-blowing how brutal they copied the story from. I'm not gonna go too much into detail. It's gonna be a little bit off topic, but yeah, they have to redeem themselves. So I hope Rogue One will be a good movie. Then I could kind of in my mind see it as part of the old trilogy, quadrilogy then. And but we will see. Maybe after Force Awakens they are able to widen the story arc a little bit. Things will become better. Something else, I want to address this topic. I know it's a little bit sensitive, but a gay character in the next Star Wars after Rogue One, I think no problem with that at all. Don't get me wrong, guys. I don't really care about the sexuality of people. I couldn't care less, seriously, but I don't want it to be a topic of Star Wars. You know, the reason why I say that is we had gay characters in the past in Star Wars. Or what do you think about C-3PO? In my opinion, he's gay, and people didn't make it a topic because when the new Star Wars is going to be released and you know, it's going to be clear that there's a gay couple, this will be major part of the news. And I don't think it should be when it comes to a Star Wars movie. If there's a gay couple in the movie, I'm completely fine with that. But just don't make it so obvious to not leave the option of interpretation open to people. You know, I mean, you know, if you have a gay character, then why do you have to show it? And maybe some people would rather have it, you know, some heterosexual characters. It's still open for the interpretation of the audience. That's my opinion. If they want to put it in there, that's cool. But you know, please don't make it a major topic of the new Star Wars. And then, last but not least, the updated specs for the PlayStation 4 Neo. Will it happen? Will it not happen? Honestly speaking, I hope it does happen, but it doesn't really matter for Sony anymore. I think they did so much right with the PlayStation generation this time that they have such a big lead, and the Neo will be released much sooner than the Scorpio, and they will have such a lead in terms of the market share. People are not going to be waiting like 6, 7, 8 more months for the Scorpio just to have maybe some better specs. So I think, you know, Microsoft, like I said in one of my other videos, they really had a bad timing with all the announcement. I feel bad for them. I think the race is already done this generation, I think. Anyway, I hope they stay in the race strong enough so that they will release nice games, because good games is always good for everyone. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the news, and I see you in the next video. Cheers, guys!